The difference between a winner and everyone else isn't talent or luck. It's a single, repeatable thought process. You're working inside a powerful, hidden operating system. We'll show you how to program that mindset for instant, guaranteed results. Just let that sink in for a second. It's not about talent. It's not about luck. It's a thought process. This whole idea suggests that high performance isn't something you're born with. It's something you can actually build. It's like your mind is running on software, and like any software, it can have glitches, right? Bugs that hold you back. But the great news is it can be upgraded. And that's exactly what this is all about. We're going to unpack that operating system, find the glitches in your current thinking, and give you the code to install an upgrade. An upgrade that starts working the very second you decide to use it. All right, let's dive in. Here's the game plan for how we're going to reprogram your approach to success. We'll start with what I call the winner's paradox. Then we'll diagnose that hidden operating system and install the new core mindset program. After that, we'll get into the science of why this works, give you a 3-step plan for instant results, and finally, we'll lock in your brand new mindset upgrade. So let's start with the big idea here, the winner's paradox. We're all taught, from a young age, to believe in the myth of talent, that some people are just born naturals. But here's the paradox. The most consistently successful people, the ones who are truly at the top of their game, they don't actually rely on some innate gift. No, they rely on a very specific, repeatable framework for how they process challenges and, more importantly, how they process failure. And this right here, this is the core of that entire framework. For a winner, failure isn't the final word on their ability. It is not a stop sign. It's just data. It's information. It's the raw material they need to grow. This whole framework, which psychologists call the growth mindset, is what turns setbacks, the very things that make most people want to quit, into the literal fuel that drives their persistence, their learning, and ultimately their incredible performance. Okay, now let's play detective. Let's diagnose that invisible wall that might be holding you back. If you've ever felt stuck or really anxious about a new challenge, or maybe you've given up on something because you felt you just weren't good enough, well, you've been running a flawed mental program. It's time to pop the hood and take a look at your hidden operating system. And this faulty program has a name. It's called the fixed mindset. This is the core belief that your intelligence, your skills, your talents, they're all just finite things, carved in stone. And when you believe that, every single challenge stops being an opportunity to learn and instead becomes this high-stakes test. A test of what? A test of your fundamental self-worth. And when the stakes are that high, the fear of failure can be absolutely paralyzing. This belief system, right here, is the root cause of so much stalled progress and performance anxiety. And this just perfectly illustrates the devastating feedback loop it creates. Let's walk through it. So first, you encounter a tough challenge. Because of that fixed mindset, your brain doesn't see an opportunity. It immediately identifies a threat to your identity as a smart, capable person. And what does that trigger? Step 3, emotional shutdown. Your brain's defense systems kick in and you feel that rush of anxiety, frustration, maybe even shame. And that leads directly to the final step, avoidance. You quit. You procrastinate, you find a distraction. You do literally anything to get away from that awful feeling, which of course prevents the very exposure to difficulty you need to learn anything new. Okay, so we've diagnosed the bug in the system. Now for the good part, the solution. And listen, this isn't about just thinking positive thoughts or saying some hollow affirmations. No, this is a systematic, 3-part cognitive program. It's designed for one purpose and one purpose only, to drive growth. This is the new code we're about to write. These 3 commitments, they form the rock-solid core of the winner's mindset operating system. First up, the effort as fuel commitment. This means you have to consciously shift your focus. Stop praising just the outcome and start rewarding the process, the hard work, the strategy, the sheer persistence. Second, you have to embrace the power of yet. This is a simple but incredibly profound linguistic tool that will reframe your entire relationship with failure. And third, you have to actively seek out the challenge zone. This is a commitment to getting comfortable with being uncomfortable because, let's be honest, that is the only place where real growth ever happens. Now, what's so cool about this is just how simple and powerful it is. Look at that shift. The fixed mindset script is a total dead end. I can't solve this. It's a verdict. It's final. But watch what happens when we run the winner's mindset script. Just by adding one tiny 3-letter word, you completely transform that brick wall into a doorway. It's no longer a statement about who you are, it's just a statement about your current position on a journey. And this isn't just some clever word game. This is a direct command you are giving to your brain. That little word, yet, it acts like a circuit breaker. It interrupts that emotional shutdown we talked about earlier. It signals to your brain that this state of failure is temporary. It's not permanent. And that simple linguistic shift keeps your problem-solving pathways online, allowing you to stay engaged with the challenge instead of retreating. It is your #1 defense against quitting. So why does this whole system deliver such incredible results? Well, it's not magic. It's all about neuroscience. Let's take a look at the actual science behind why this new mental program can fundamentally change the way your brain operates. Okay, this is absolutely fascinating. Researchers have literally studied brain activity in the moments right after someone makes a mistake, and what they found is just remarkable. As you can see here, people with a fixed mindset show very little brain activity. It's like they just ignore the error. But people with a growth mindset, whoa, their brains light up like a Christmas tree. They pay way more attention to the error, they process it more deeply, and they learn from it much more effectively. This is proof that this mindset isn't just a nice feeling. It physically enhances your brain's ability to fix errors and learn faster. So here's the bottom line. Adopting this framework gives you real, tangible, physiological benefits. It actually strengthens your brain's neural plasticity. That's its ability to rewire itself and learn. It reduces the stress hormone cortisol because failure is no longer some kind of existential threat. And what that does is it frees up your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain that does all the heavy lifting with strategy and complex thought, to actually solve the problem instead of just managing emotional damage control. And of course, it builds powerful intrinsic motivation because the reward starts coming from the effort itself, not from someone else's approval. All right, now for the most important part, the practical application. I mean, theory is great, but results only come from action. So here are 3 simple, non-negotiable steps you can take to start programming this mindset today. Not tomorrow, not next week. Right now, today. Okay, let's walk through this. Step 1 is the audit. For the next 24 hours, just listen. Become a detective of your own thoughts. Just notice when that little internal critic pops up with those fixed mindset scripts like, I'm just not good at this, or I'll never figure this out. Just notice it. That's it. Then step 2 is to deploy. The moment you catch that thought, you consciously reframe it using our secret weapon, the word yet. So I'm not good at this instantly becomes, I'm not good at this yet. This is an active, deliberate intervention. And finally, step 3 is to commit. This is about being proactive, not just reactive. Before you start any important, difficult task, I want you to create a little focus ritual. Just pause for 10 seconds and state this mantra, either out loud or just to yourself. I choose this challenge because this difficulty is the only pathway to growth. So what does this do? Well, it intentionally primes your brain. It frames the struggle that's about to come not as a threat you have to endure, but as the optimal state for your own growth and learning. You are literally telling your brain exactly what you want it to do. Embrace the difficulty. Whew, we have covered a lot of ground. We've dissected the paradox, diagnosed the problem, and detailed the solution. So now, let's bring it all home. Let's distill the single most valuable lesson from this entire system. This is the core idea that's going to lock in your mindset upgrade for good. This is it. You are not a finished product. You're not some static object with a fixed set of talents. You are a dynamic, complex, and most importantly, a malleable system. Success, then, it's not about proving how smart you already are. It's about fully, completely embracing the process of growth. It's about falling in love with the effort, with the feedback, with the challenge itself. It's time to stop letting the fear of failure define the limits of your potential. And this is why it all matters so much. See, the winner's mindset solves the huge problems of fragile motivation and failure avoidance. It gives you a systematic way to program your brain for faster learning and relentless persistence. By focusing on effort as fuel and deploying the power of yet, you're directly tapping into the psychology we talked about. You're strengthening neural plasticity and lowering your anxiety. And all of that leads to the real secret of high performers. Productivity isn't about brute force or just doing more. It's about mastering the internal systems that make focus and persistence feel almost effortless. So, I'll leave you with one final, provocative question to take with you. Think about that skill, that project, that goal you gave up on because you told yourself you just weren't good enough. Now ask yourself, what have you not mastered yet?